Skirt bu hafta Hollywood'da koleksiyonculara çok şey vaat eden bir dükkana konuk oluyor. Sanat dünyasının bit pazarı olarak nitelendirebileceğimiz bu dükkanda ünlü filmlere ve oyunculara ait eşyalar, aksesuarlar, film oyuncakları ve imzalı afişler bulunuyor. Gelin şimdi bu keyifli turu hep birlikte izleyelim.
Today we're here with Roy Wyndham of Baby Jane in Hollywood, and it is the most diverse collection in the United States of TV and film memorabilia, correct?
Yes, and I concentrate mostly on celebrity-related material, so it will be theater as well as mostly film and television, and sometimes personal stuff from stars, and kind of anything that has a celebrity on it, I want it in my store.
Well, how is it that you got involved in this, and how long have you been doing this?
Well, I started collecting when I was 12, and I'm now 50. But I've been doing it a long time. I was lucky enough to be born and raised in Los Angeles, and my parents were flea market junkies, so they always were at flea markets every weekend. And when I was about 12, I started getting my allowance, which was maybe only like $5, but back in those days, you were able to buy a good amount of stuff for $5.
A whole lot.
And I guess I always had a little bit of a dealer mentality, so if they would say it was like a quarter a piece, I would end up buying the whole box for like $2 or something like that.
Well, you've got a lot of stuff from like the posters here. Now let's talk about the posters first here. Some of these are, well, these are all 60s, 70s.
Yeah, you know, it's always been funny because I always liked the films from the 30s and 40s was kind of my favorite era. So I get customers coming in and go, I want something really old to hang on my walls. And I go like, okay, what are you looking for? And then they'll say, I want Star Wars. And I'm thinking, to me, that's like not old, but you know, but it's a different age group, so old to them is something from the 60s, 70s, and even the 80s. Citizen Kane still will bring in a $50,000 prize, where you know a Star Wars poster like this one is $1,750. It's like this one here is from Ocean's 11. With Frank Sinatra saying
The original.
The original Ocean's 11, yes, with the original Rat Pack, and I think it's called the Big Steal. It was called in Italy. That's the Colpo Grosso was the title that they gave it in Italy because Ocean's 11 would not make any sense to an Italian audience.
Buster Keaton's autograph and production still, and Prince Di.
Yeah, so I sell autographs as well, and my customers now really are liking actual documents. So like this is an actual check that Katharine Hepburn hand wrote out to a cleaners in 1957. So a lot of times people are going like, oh, a signed photo. How do I know if a secretary signed it or or the star signed it? So a lot of customers are now really liking an actual document that they know that the star would sign, or a handwritten letter, like Joan Crawford did here.
What do we got here?
Well, this is a dress that Faye Dunaway wore in the TV series Columbo. And here's a picture of freeze frame from the actual TV episode. And she actually was nominated and won an Emmy Award for Best Appearance, Cameo Appearance.
Guest star,
Guest
maybe?
Guest star.
John Travolta's name here.
Yeah, this is kind of a fun piece. This is actually his personal wardrobe, his suit. He donated it to a, I don't know, to a charity sale or something like that know, a lot of stars did that back in the 80s, and this is from 82. And how I know it was from 82, because actually in the pocket, what left behind was his credit card receipt for a dinner he purchased in 1982, and this has his signature on it.
You talked about the fact you go to these flea markets, you find stuff, and you buy it for $0.25 and sell it for, hopefully, what's your best find?
My best find? Well, the one that was really fun was I went to a prop house, and they were getting rid of all these small props. And it was a box of small kind of brass items, and it was this cool looking whistle. So everything was $0.25. So you mentioned your quarter. So everything boxed was $0.25. And on there was a tag, and this had a number like 803, A803 on it, something like that. So anyway, I bought a bunch of stuff for $0.25 each. And then I started looking up that number. I looked up on the MGM list. I looked on the Fox list. And I started looking up all these different studios. And 803, I'm not sure if that's the exact number, I remember it, said Sound of Music. I think, oh, Sound of Music. Well, he does blow a whistle in that. So then I put the film in. And there he is with this captain's whistle, blowing it, calling the children down. So it was the actual whistle used.
Right.
So I knew that was a good find. So I saved it for a while, and then I contacted Christie's auction house in New York. And they said they would very much love to have it. So I just did a nice little framing thing for about $100. I put it in a little shadow box, and I put a picture of the poster and a picture of him blowing the whistle on there. And so they took it on consignment, and they said, well, put an estimate of $1,000 on it. And I thought, well, that's pretty good for $0.25. And I go, yeah.
To Harry, Love and Kisses, Marilyn Monroe. Isn't it amazing that we did this whole shoot in one take?